Let's talk about a case of actual consumer confusion. I'm Angela Langlotz, trademark and copyright attorney, and I go live here on weekdays to talk trademarks and copyrights. And I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes discussing Gorilla Glue versus Gorilla Snot, revolting, but okay. Hair gel. Spray adhesive versus hair gel. So apparently the internet has been talking about the case of some poor lady who mistook Gorilla spray adhesive for Gorilla gel hairstyling products and actually sprayed the spray adhesive on her hair, which is now stuck to her scalp. I feel sorry for this poor lady. She's not only in a lot of physical distress, but she's being made fun of on the internet, so it's not very nice. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about consumer confusion. Now, this is an actual case of consumer confusion where a consumer became confused about the two brands, I'm told. And this can happen for a number of reasons. One of the main reasons that things like this happen is something called trade dress. So trade dress is the overall presentation of the brand to the consumer. And it can involve things like package coloring, package, like the way the package is laid out. Let's switch over and I'll show you what I mean. Side by side, let me squinch this down a little bit. Oops, I'm trying to move it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we've got the Gorilla brand spray adhesive on the left, and then here's, the Gorilla Snot gel on the right. And I think you can see that the trade dress bears a passing resemblance to one another. They both have a gorilla. Let me switch over here. They both have a gorilla on the front, and they both use strong colors, but the colors really aren't the same, such that you would get these two confused. So on the right, you've got the Gorilla Snot gel, so gross, with this orange highlights, or maybe it's red, I can't really tell from my monitor, but it looks like a yellow background with the gorilla with the whoopy hair, right? And then you've got over here the spray adhesive, which is showing an orange background, so it's still a bright color background, but it's not really the same. The gorilla looks really different. It's got a black cap instead of a red cap, and it's got an orange background instead of a yellow background. So I don't think it's really fair to say that the packaging is what resulted in the confusion here with the consumer. I think it's an issue of somebody maybe just not reading the package label, but it is true that, you know, Gorilla hair gel and Gorilla spray adhesive may be confusing. But when we typically do a confusion analysis like this, one of the things that we look at besides the trade dress is how likely is a consumer to expect that the same person or same company makes both products. And I think when we look at the likelihood of consumer confusion from that standpoint, we don't expect as consumers to see the same people making hair gel that makes spray adhesive. So I think in this case, this is why both marks were granted registration, because typically as consumers, we don't see hair gel and spray adhesive on the same shelf or on the same aisle when we go into the store. So that's one factor that we use. We call that stream of commerce. Will the consumer see the products, in the same stream of commerce? And I think the answer here is no. We likely won't even find these in the same store. You typically buy things like these spray adhesives in a craft store or in a home improvement store. You typically buy hair gel in a cosmetic store, maybe the grocery store on the personal care aisle. You don't often see things like spray adhesive, which is kind of a specialty item in a grocery store. So I would say that there's very little likelihood of consumer confusion here from a trademark standpoint, but tragically, that's not true in the real world where some lady got it mixed up with something that she could spray on her head. I hope she recovers soon, and I hope this is a good illustration of consumer confusion. You can find me online at TrademarkDoctor.net. I have a huge YouTube channel. You can go to video.trademarkdoctor.net/YouTube, and you can find me there. I've got over 450 videos now. I can hardly believe it. If you have trademark questions, feel free to drop them into the comments below. I'll answer them on a future live video.